capacity is the number of heat units needed to raise the temperature of a body of water by 1 degree.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is capillary action? Capillary action is where water is able to travel through solids, and these solids are usually porous and are not affected by the force of gravity at all. Now, there are three variables that determine whether capillary action applies or not. The first one is a cohesive force, where two water molecules are attracted to each other, unlike an adhesive force, which is the second variable, where two unlike molecules are attracted together. The third one is surface tension, where the forces on water molecules are attracted to each other, and an external force, such as gravity, does not affect them at all. Some examples of capillary action include water being able to travel up a paper towel, a napkin, a bath towel, or even clothes such as cotton shirts. Capillary action is not limited to just traveling up. It can also travel through objects on a flat surface without the help of gravity. Another example of the use of capillary action in the items we use every day are sponges and paper towels. So, got any more cool facts on water?
Yeah, specific heat. It's the heat required to raise the temperature of the unit mass of a given substance by a given amount.
Wow,
Interesting, huh?
that is so cool.
I know.
So the basic definition of adhesion is that it is the property of water that attracts it to other substances or surfaces. So another important definition to know is cohesion, which is water's attraction to water, to itself. In a general standpoint, adhesion is the tendency of dissimilar particles or surfaces to cling to one another. Expanding on the water on glass concept, the reason water will spread and not keep around drop-like formation is because the adhesive forces pull the water toward the glass. Also, along with gravity, the adhesive forces are pulling the water down because the water wants to also stick to the glass pane. The repulsion between molecules rule is lessened in this case. Like molecules is lessened in this case. Electrostatic forces are attractions due to opposite or polar charges.
Now, if you put a sponge on top of a wet counter, it will absorb the water and travel up, which is going against gravity because gravity pushes things down. And if you have a little spot of water and put a paper towel over it, the water will absorb and go through it without the help of gravity.
So, Derek, how does a hydrogen bond relate to capillary action?
Well, see, hydrogen bonds form between the hydrogen of one water molecule and the oxygen of the neighboring water molecule. In ice, all the molecules of water are held in their places by a network of hydrogen bonds, and in water, only some molecules at any given time will be attached in a constantly changing process. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you have anything else?
You have to break the hydrogen bonds in order for ice to melt and water to become steam. And this takes up a lot of energy. And then we see a higher than expected melting and boiling point. Capillary action is mainly caused by the water molecules pulling one molecule along via the hydrogen bonds. Do you have something else there?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, surface tension. Surface tension is caused by the water molecules on the surface holding on to one another in a network, giving enough support for a small creature to walk on the surface.
That is amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's where you see those little bugs that run across the water.
Wow.
So let's talk a little bit about compressibility of water. Water is somewhat incompressible, especially under normal conditions. If you fill a sandwich bag with water and put a straw in it, it'll just go straight back out of the straw. Incompressibility is a common property of liquids, but water is especially incompressible. Water's lack of compressibility helps to push water out of water hoses, water pistols, and water fountains. In some instances, some pressure is applied to a container full of water, and rather than compress, it comes shooting out of an opening, such as the end of a hose, the end of a small pipe, and fountain. And if water was highly compressible, it would be harder to create enough pressure for water to shoot out of the nearest opening. Kids make good use of water compressibility when they play a game of water balloons. When you squeeze the balloon too much, the balloon skin will fail before the water inside compresses. It will burst in your face way before the water is compressed into a tiny amount. Squeeze hard enough and water will compress, shrink in size, and become more dense, but not by very much. Thank you. Incompressibility is a common property of liquids, but water is especially incompressible. Water's lack of compressibility helps to push water out of water hoses, water pistols, and artistic water fountains.
And the property of adhesion to water with water is very important to us, because one example being we would have difficulty washing ourselves. So this example is if water didn't stick to other molecules, we would not be able to clean the sweat and dirt off our body. The water sticks to it and it comes off. So that's a very important use of water that relates to the property. And the water molecules, they stick to our skin and essentially pull the dirt, sweat, and dead cells off our bodies because they stick to them as well. If water did not stick or did not have the adhesion property, it would just slide off our bodies without pulling any sweat or dirt off. So that's a very important property.